Alright, so we're heading to Fraser first thing in the morning and we're currently just camping at Inskip tonight. And as you can see, there is a beautiful sunset behind me. Yeah, we're hoping to be able to catch the first barge over. Yeah. We ended up waking up very nice and early. It was around about 4:30 by the time we were in line for the barge. So we made some bacon and eggs while we waited. We were the first group on at the 6 a.m. and it was a very nice sunrise and seen a few satellites going past. I don't know if you can see in the video. But yeah, I just want to say a big thank you to Chaos and Club 4x4 for sponsoring this event. So if you don't know, I went for the Fraser Island annual cleanup and they've held it every year for the last 22 years. And without them, it wouldn't have been able to get a discounted rate going onto Fraser, so all I had to pay was $100 for the ferry and you got a little receipt, so it was $100 return, and they covered also the vehicle permit and camping fees. So overall it only really cost me $100 to get over to Fraser, plus whatever it cost me in fuel and food. But I only ended up using 1 tank of fuel for the entire island. I took an extra 20 litres with me that I did end up putting into my car, but I still had a quarter of a tank when I came back home. But yeah, so just a big thank you to the big sponsors of the program, and then also 4WDING Queensland, who also help organise it. So I went over with the Caloundra 4WDING Club and, you know, they organised everything, so it was probably the least stressful adventure I've been on, because I just sort of had to rock up and didn't have to do much. So big thank you to everyone who organised, and the weather was absolutely amazing for this entire event. And in total we ended up collecting, between all the clubs in Queensland, there was 5 tonnes of rubbish removed from Fraser. So it's definitely a good event, and I encourage everyone when you go down to the beach to take a little bit of rubbish with you. It is currently winter time and it is kind of chilly, but the water, once you're moving in it, is just absolutely amazing, and there's no wind from the ocean, so this is amazing. Also seen some fish swimming around just before, so that was pretty cool. Oh, there's one just there. I don't know if you can see. Oh, he's gone. Some eels. I don't know if you can see that. How cool! You couldn't ask for a more beautiful end to the day. We were all set up at camp and we were sitting around not doing much and could see like a little bit of splashing out over the water. So I threw the drone up and seen this, which is absolutely incredible. I'm pretty sure it's a minke whale. I'm not 100% sure. It's definitely not a humpback whale. But yeah, it was a minke whale just about 20 to 30 meters off the beach, and it was in incredibly shallow water just feeding on the bait ball, and it definitely made my afternoon. The only thing better than seeing a whale out on the ocean is a shark, and not only was there a shark, there was 4 sharks. So as you can see, there's 3 big ones, but then there's also another little one trailing behind that you'll see in a minute. And they were just swimming up the shoreline with a little school of fish, and they were just cruising. Like, there's no need to stress about them. They obviously weren't out hunting. They were just minding their own business, going for a little swim, and they were probably only another couple of meters away from the whale, maybe like another 20 meters away from the whale at one stage, you'll see here. It was just absolutely amazing to see these 2 animals together in the wild. Day 2 on Fraser was our cleanup day. So like I said, I was with the Calandra 4-wheel drive club, so we had the NGKALA rocks area, so we had just north of the rocks and also south, so we had to make it over the rocks and clean that side or that stretch of the beach, and then also make it back down south. And in total we had 7 kilometers of beach to clean. It was quite a nice drive, driving up through Orchid Beach and all that. Did take a while, but we left nice and early at around about 8 o'clock, and we were lucky that by the time we got to NGKALA rocks, I think there was only 3 cars in front of us. One was a 79 series, which was one of the actual rangers for the island, and then just 2 other random people. So I finally made it to the bottom of NGKALA rocks, and this is where I started getting a little bit nervous. So that 79 series that you can see there, it got stuck twice and had to be pushed back, and this was its 3rd attempt and it finally made it up. And then also the other car behind it, this one here on the bottom left, also got stuck up the very top of the sand dune, so I was quite nervous that the 2 cars in front of me got stuck. But you know, we ended up smashing through it, and honestly NGKALA rocks was the most fun I've had in a long time.
Unreal.
I also thought that I'd add in the GoPro footage, so this is my GoPro just sitting on my dash so you can sort of see a first perspective of what going up NGKALA rocks is like. It's honestly not too bad navigating through the rocks. As I said, I was quite nervous because there was a few cars in front of me that had got stuck. But, you know, honestly, I don't think you need to sweat it as much as what people make it out to be on the internet. Like, it's a difficult track, but it's not overly difficult. You just have to be smart about it. So just chuck it in low, take your time, and then pretty much as soon as your tires are out of this water bit, just send it. And I sort of just had it in second gear and had no worries. And it is quite bumpy up the top. I think I'm all good now. Like we can say we grabbed something. I thought we would be going like further along. Is us waiting there? Well, they still not working. So this is the end.
I was knocked down, heard the countdown through the haze in the face of defeat, yeah. I was ruled out with no bailout on my own, all alone, left to bleed out. But I rose up from the ground, just like I was spellbound. All the odds were against me, so I picked up the pace, and now I'm in the race. Give me some space. I'm a movement and I ain't losing.
Bacardi? Anyone else find any cool bottles? Yeah? What else? Oh. It'd be cool if one of these were like a message in a bottle. Found a few bottles. Yeah, we found some thongs. What have we got in there?
Jar with Chinese writing on it.
You got all the big stuff.
There was a jar with Chinese writing on
Oh,
it.
you got a few thongs?
I got a few thongs.
Any of them working?
Yeah, but I stole my jar.
Oh yeah. Oh my god.
I'm winning this race. Give me some space.
I think this is like. Oh, that's nice and hard there. I'm about to explode. Staying in the background, no, 'cause I Jesus.
Right. We're going to end up walking all the way down. Nearly. No, that's nothing, mate. It's just soft. Yeah. You know, 100 yards would be beautiful. Yeah. Come on through. On your way.
So for day 3 we spent most of the time on the west side of the island, but we pulled up and we had a picnic, and I finally got to use my drop down table for the first time that I made in my last video, or that I did the install in my last video. But yeah, as you can see, it comes perfectly in handy, especially when you're just pulling over somewhere quick to eat. It can take a fair bit of weight, but it's just good for like prepping meals, and yeah, you don't have to set anything or, you know, carry any extra weight in the car. It's sort of already just there, part of the door. But yeah, I thought to just show you guys like a little action shot of the new table, and 10 out of 10 recommend. Either buy one or make one. And as you can see, nice yummy wrap. After having lunch on the west side of the island, it was time to head back over to the east side, and we came across this little water crossing. Well, it wasn't so little once we went through, but don't worry guys, it was fresh water, it wasn't salt water. Please don't come at me. I've had a lot of nasty comments on my last water crossing video. It's a 4-wheel drive, guys. She's more than capable of going through. It's my car. I can do what I want, so please keep your comments to yourself if you've got nothing good to say. But yes, I did lose my alternator. Well, I didn't lose it, but my alternator stopped working on my last water crossing, which was Morton Island. But it's held together. I haven't had any problems in this water crossing, so I call that a win. The only thing that I lost or broke on this trip was 2 spotlight screws. So my spotlights were a little bit loose, but I call that a win. I'd rather have a couple of loose bolts than to be paying for a new alternator again. So I did end up getting stuck on this little bit of the inland track. As you can see, the boys did a little bit of digging and gave me a little push out, and once I was in low range I was fine, but I initially went up in just 4H, and I don't know if most of you guys have Pajeros on my page or not, but there's sort of 3 gears when it comes to 4-wheel driving. 4H is all-wheel drive, 4HL is actually high range, and 4LL is low range. So once I rolled down, was in low, sort of got up, no worries.
Go, go, go. Keep going, keep going.
Another run up.
Day 4 was time to pack up and hit the road again, but before heading back to the barge, I wanted to see Lake Mackenzie and a few other things first. So I did top up my car with some fuel. I still had about a quarter of a tank in, but I still put another 20 litres in, and by the time I actually got off the island, I had a quarter in my tank, so I pretty much essentially just used a whole tank up, but it was just easier to fill up, so I didn't have to fill up on the tracks or anything like that. So definitely recommend taking extra fuel with you, because I went through about a quarter quarter a day, but I did do a fair bit of driving. I think in total I did 500 kilometers. That was from like the servo where I last filled up, and then when I filled up again just outside of Rainbow. So did do a fair bit of driving. Honestly, pretty good on fuel considering.
When we wake, hear the birds and see the sun. Side by side our fears are done. Oh, the good times just begun. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Oh, even in the hard time, you and I can weather any storm. Before I sleep, hear the crickets, see the moon. Side by side and through. No limit to what we can do. Oh, we know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the future is bright. Oh, you and I, we got it. Oh, we don't need no more. Even in the hard time, you and I can weather any storm. You and I, we got it. We don't need no more. Even in the hard time, you and I can weather any storm. Time is up. I've got somewhere to go. I met a new somebody, and he's waiting back home. Life goes on. I don't have a single doubt. I know your heart is broken, but you'll figure it out. When the sun rises in the morning, before you remember you're alone, you can hold on to that easy feeling, or you can let it go. Time is up. The lights are going down. I know you have something to do before you leave.
we headed back down the coast to Hook Point to wait for the barge, and as we rocked up, Peter got bogged, unfortunately, so here's a shout out to Peter. I know you recently subscribed a week or two ago. Don't mean to be calling you out in front of everyone, but I kind of am. Sorry, but you're a bit of a jokester yourself, so I hope you don't mind. Just unfortunately Peter went a bit too far for the barge and had to turn around, and the soft sand and the extra weight just didn't work with him, but luckily Nigel and Jim were there to get him out. But we ended up jumping on the barge and leaving them behind, so sorry, but you had enough help with you and there wasn't really much else that I could do. But overall, great trip, definitely want to go back. Might, if I get the chance, I would love to do Fraser Island cleanup next year. It's definitely a good cause and it's worthwhile. So if you guys live in Queensland, think about maybe just joining a club and coming for the Fraser Island cleanup. Maybe I'll see you next year if I'm there. Bye!